With Zuckerberg's social media now filled with images of physical fitness, combat sports, and outdoor adventures, Zuckerberg seems determined to rebrand himself as a leader of the next tech revolution and a stronger, more relatable version of himself. But the question is, can a CEO with as much baggage as Zuckerberg truly reinvent himself? Or is this just another chapter in a larger game of perception management? The first thing you need to understand here is that Zuckerberg's downfall was a slow burn that started with the very thing that made him famous: Facebook. One of the first major red flags came in 2008 when it was revealed that Facebook had conducted a secret psychological experiment on nearly 700,000 users without their consent. And we all know that this was just the beginning. 2 years later, the Cambridge Analytica scandal erupted. Facebook had allowed the political consulting firm to harvest the personal data of over 87 million users, which was then used to influence elections, most notably the US presidential election and the Brexit referendum. Zuckerberg's response was robotic and lacked empathy, which obviously alienated the public. And he made matters worse during his 2018 congressional hearings by appearing distant and mechanical. He made it clear that he was a tech CEO completely out of touch with the real world. But perhaps the most damaging blow to Zuckerberg's reputation was Facebook's role in spreading misinformation and enabling hate speech globally. In countries like Myanmar, Facebook was used to incite violence against the Rohingya Muslim minority. Despite warnings from human rights organizations, Facebook took little action, which showed that the platform's lack of oversight could have real-world consequences. By 2018, Zuckerberg had become synonymous with corporate greed and privacy violations. People didn't just dislike Facebook, they hated Zuckerberg himself. For the world, he was no longer another billionaire. Instead, he had become the face of everything wrong with big tech. Of course, Zuckerberg wanted to repair his image. But the big question is, how? Well, his first idea was to become a philanthropist, just like Bill Gates. So, along with his wife, he pledged to donate 99% of their Facebook shares to philanthropic causes. This happened in 2015. On paper, this was an impressive gesture, but the public saw it as a calculated move to deflect criticism. Many viewed it as Zuckerberg trying to buy his way back into people's good graces rather than earn it. Perhaps one of the most bizarre rebranding efforts was in 2016, when he hosted a virtual backyard barbecue while awkwardly repeating the phrase, "I'm smoking meats." The moment became an internet meme, which added to the perception that Zuckerberg was a socially awkward tech nerd trying too hard to seem normal. It was clear that all of his attempts at rebranding had failed. But then something unexpected happened. Suddenly, images of a buff Zuckerberg surfing with a white streak of sunscreen on his face began circulating online, and people were paying attention for the first time in years. This wasn't the awkward robotic CEO the world had grown tired of. This was a new Zuckerberg, who was fit, active, and seemingly confident in a way he hadn't been before. But that was just the beginning. In 2023, Zuckerberg started posting videos of himself training in MMA, and even competing in Jiu-Jitsu matches. The internet was surprised and in many ways fascinated. Here was the billionaire tech mogul, not talking about algorithms or virtual reality, but rolling on the mat in a combat sport. The shift culminated in what many dubbed the Zuck versus Musk challenge, where Zuckerberg and Elon Musk entertained the idea of an MMA fight. Now, this transformation wasn't a coincidence. This rebrand is clearly a well-thought-out, calculated move aimed at reshaping his image and distancing himself from the controversies that have plagued Facebook and Meta. The rise of the self-improvement culture plays a significant role. By leaning into this trend, Zuckerberg is positioning himself as someone who not only excels in business, but also in physical strength and discipline. Moreover, by taking up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and getting into the MMA world, Zuckerberg is aligning himself with a culture that values grit, resilience, and dominance. This helps him contrast the old perception of a socially awkward, out-of-touch CEO with the new image of a confident, powerful figure. Additionally, MMA has a large fan base that appeals to young male demographics, which is a key audience Zuckerberg needs to win back as Meta attempts to stay relevant in an ever-evolving digital landscape. Moreover, Zuckerberg's new image has a psychological effect on his public image, which signals that he is tough enough to lead, adapt, and evolve. On top of that, the Meta rebrand itself also coincides with this new identity. Zuckerberg's new image is designed to give people faith that he can lead not just the future of of social media, but the future of human interaction in the digital world. His strategy is about creating a narrative where he embodies change, and this strategy seems to work since he has successfully shifted the public conversation away from the scandals that once defined him. The key question now is whether Zuckerberg's transformation will have a lasting, positive impact on his reputation and Meta's future. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, take care and stay tuned.